Pretty thighs, shawty, she a dime. Demon girl, evil eyes, she be telling lies. Slim waist.
Your lab also had interest in dissecting the mechanisms of emerging neurotropic viruses affecting the human brain, like Zika fever and also COVID-19. So yes, these viruses do affect many organs. For example, COVID-19 does affect patients' lungs, their hearts, and it can potentially cause fatal results. So how do you see these? So how do these emerging neurotropic viruses like COVID-19 especially affect the human brain?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. There are, luckily we were, our lab diligently worked on two different, recent two pandemics in Zika virus epidemic and then COVID-19 pandemic. So, Zika viral infection basically causes microcephaly. That's basically our field of interest. And when we used the brain organoids to model the Zika viral infections, basically the virus targeted the neural stem cells and triggered them to differentiate. As a result, the brain organoids, they lost a lot of stem cells and causing microcephaly. It was a timely work. The communities have appreciated us. And then when COVID-19 pandemic came, we looked at a number of literatures and then we found that the patients have some sort of brain fog and they have issues with olfaction and things like that. But basically our story was the first paper in EMBO journal was published that shows that the virus can target the human neurons in the form of organoids. So we were the first one to show it. And there are differences between these two viruses. So Zika can target the neural stem cells, but not the COVID-19. I mean, the SARS-CoV-2 targets only the cortical neurons in our case. And it does induce sort of a cellular stress, and eventually those neurons die. And when we published the paper, we were very, very careful. We were not sure how relevant it is. But eventually a lot of clinical work has been published and showing the similar phenomena in human, basically in postmortem brain. There is a brain atrophy and the cortical neurons were infected. And that explains, how powerful the brain organoid can be. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we had a paper already in 2020, if I remember, May already. But, we were extremely careful not to, stress the community. But eventually our findings were true. They were identified in human patients. So meaning that brain organoids are very useful tools. Also in case in the future for emerging neurotropic viruses, we could readily address them.